What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. Today we are back with episode 196 of Shadows and Pretties. So today we are going to be looking at the third Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie called Dog Days. Now this movie came out in 2012 and it's based on the book called The Last Straw and the Dog Days Diary of the Wimpy Kid books by Jeff Kinney or whoever it is. So, with that being the case, the original main cast members such as Zachary Gordon and Robert Capron and Devin Bostek outgrew their roles, but new actors were, cast for the sequel called Diary of the Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul, which I'll be talking about that later on, which I'll be talking about maybe in the next episode, but it's mainly got the original cast members to come back to do this. So, I guess with that being the case, that being said, this is the third film of the Diary of the Wimpy Kid film series. So, last time I reviewed was the second one called Roderick Rules, and I have reviewed the first Diary of the Wimpy Kid film already, so if you guys want to check out my previous episodes on those, feel free to do so as they're in the Shadows and Pretties podcast playlist, which I have a playlist dedicated to that, so you guys can go and check that out. So anyways, I'm gonna go get started with, me reviewing this film, because I'm basically gonna go over, what the plot is about, in case you guys have not seen the movie in a while or have never seen it at all. Yeah. Anyways, I guess we should get started with this movie, because I think I saw this movie back in 2016 or something, and I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it does have a good concept in that, but it's still a pretty good movie regardless. So basically, this takes place months after Greg and Roderick have developed their brotherly bond from Roderick Rules, and they and their family go to a crowded local pool where they run into Lynn Haith, a former delinquent who works as a lifeguard, and since she reformed after attending to a Spang Union, a military school that begins at 8th grade, Frank notes that Greg is about to enter the 8th grade and considers signing him up. Greg's summer gets off to a rocky start, learning that he had spent the first day playing video games. Frank disables the family's television set, while meanwhile Susan starts a book club for Craig and his friends and urges Frank to spend more time with them. Frank takes them fishing and to a Civil War reenactment where he constantly messes up to Frank's frustration. So one day Rowley invites Craig to a local country club. Intentionally reluctant, he decides to continue joining Rowley as a guest after learning that his crush, Holly Hills, teaches tennis there. Frank surprises Craig with an unpaid summer internship at his office, hoping that they could bond. Disliking the idea, Greg lies about getting a job at the country club to Frank and Susan's delight, and the Heffreys later get a dog, which Manny names Sweetie, and Frank and Susan gave Greg a starter cell phone, a Ladybug, which only allows him to call home or 911. Rowley invites Greg on a family trip to Reton Beach near the boardwalk, and they ride a ride called the Cranium Shaker, and Roderick suggests that, despite Rowley's parents forbidding him from going on scary rides. Greg becomes increasingly uneasy as the Jeffersons' erratic lifestyle and secretly uses Rowley's father, Robert's laptop computer, to email Susan to get himself out of the trip. The Jeffersons then confronted him after he accidentally sent the email to everyone on Robert's contact list. He desperately tries to call home by calling his Ladybug phone, but advertently calls 911, leading to Robert almost getting arrested for coming to the door with a knife in his hands. Greg is sent home early, but Frank then starts to believe that Rowley is a bad influence. A few days later, Rowley informs Greg that he's no longer allowed to invite him to the country club, but he sneaks in by impersonating members. After Roderick learns that Holly's sister, Heather, whom he has a crush on, also works at the club, he asks Greg to help him sneak in as well. Greg reconciles with Rowley and gets Loaded Dipper with a gig for Heather's upcoming sweet 16th birthday. To Roderick's delight, during the country club visit, Robert confronts Frank and Greg over the latter's purchase of $260 worth of smoothies. Frank mentions that Greg has a job there, but the manager denies it. Learning the truth of Greg's deception, Frank expresses his disappointment with him. So shortly after that, Roderick reveals that Speg Union disc has been mailed to them, and to his horror, Roderick urges Greg to go on to the Wilderness Weekend, a camping trip with his classmates to impress Frank. During it, Fragley then tells a scary story about the muddy hand. Then, after mistaking Frank's hand for that of hitting him with the mallet, Greg admits his guilt over constantly messing up. So the next day, after overhearing Frank's boss, Stan Warren, insult him over the lack of camping skills, Greg sets a trap with his friends and sneaking onto Stan's tent, where he learns that their troop had been cheating by using household appliances. Stan discovers Greg and insults him, but Frank chases Stan for faking his camping skills when they run into Greg's trap. Humiliating himself at a motel, Frank confesses that he never liked camping at all and decides not to send Greg to Spag Union. To his surprise and delight, he also talks to him about learning from the mistakes and taking responsibility, making them both realize that they're not anymore and they're a lot more than they thought. So at Heather's party a few days later, Loaded Dipper then performs hard rock cover of Baby, with Roderick leading on the vocals in an attempt to impress her. The performance goes awry when he accidentally knocks over a huge ice bust of her, causing her to try and assault him with the microphone stand, but only to smash a chocolate fountain with it, ending the party with a disaster. Despite this, Holly and Greg become a couple and spend the rest of their summer together with Rowley, and thus how the movie ends. It's really unfortunate that this movie was the last one to have the original cast for, Roderick, Greg Heffley, and a few others before when they released the next sequel that came out in 2017, they actually got some, replacement actors for it. Which, the Long Haul movie that came out in 2017, I will be talking about that sometime later in the future. Like, maybe pretty much in the next episode, I will consider reviewing that in that time. But, let's get started. So the film was, began on August 8th in 2011 in Vancouver and was completed on October 7th in 2011. For the location of the country club and pool was the Eagle Ridge Pool in the Quiltium, British Columbia, which is the filming took place during the end of August of 2011. So, yeah, they did film at the Stevenson Pool, Richmond in BC. Filming occurred beginning of September 2011. So they did like a lot of, they did a lot of filming in, Canada, which is pretty awesome. However, the film was released in theaters in 2012, and then near December it was released on iTunes, and then DVD and Blu-ray, which I could definitely say, this honestly was a pretty good movie. However, it's a pretty interesting, movie with the good acting and the best concept. And, there is a sequel called The Long Haul, which unfortunately does not have all the original actors, especially for Craig and Roderick, etc., etc. So, like with that being said, there is the animated film of Diary of the Wimpy Kid that came out in 2021, which I'm probably going to talk about that maybe in the future. But, maybe in the future once I've seen it, because I have not seen it yet. But, yeah, so anyways, I honestly thought this was actually a pretty good movie, despite the whole, fact that, it's actually the last movie to have the original cast for Craig Heffley and Roderick, because, yeah, the other cast members were getting, they were getting too older to play the roles of the kids, which, I mean, it's understandable, because, well, we all grow up, so there's nothing really much you could really do about it once you're growing up. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess with that being said, I recommend checking out this movie, especially if you like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid series. Even if you like the books as a kid or whatever, I recommend you read the books, but I also recommend watching the movies as well, because you will not be disappointed once you've seen them. So, I guess with that being the case and with that being said, I'm going to sit here and just say, this is just simply my own opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that is perfectly okay too, because I respect your opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you like it, that's fine too. I'm respectful to your own opinion. So I guess with that being said, and with that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally helped make the movie a lot better. Feel free to state your own thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're brand new here to this channel, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and like always, see you all next time.